What's up, everybody? It's me, Murph. I'm back. Excuse my awfully disheveled appearance. I got off work. I went and killed an hour-long workout outside in 80-degree weather and sweat my fucking balls off. I just cussed in the first minute of the YouTube video, but whatever. I don't care. I usually put myself together a little better before I pop on to do a video, which, by the way, yes, this is the first time in probably almost a year now that I've done a video. Uh, I am so excited. I literally got home, jumped in the shower, shoved a bunch of Chipotle down my throat, and I had to hop on BlueStacks and download this game because today is May 10th, and May 10th is the official release of Lord of the Rings: Heroes of Middle Earth. If you don't know what that is, it is a hero collector game based in the Tolkien universe in Lord of the Rings. To my knowledge, they have rights to Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, not Silmarillion. That's secondhand information. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong. Um, but the reason I'm so excited is because I've always loved these hero collector types of games, right? That's why I started making content on Marvel Strike Force. I just got so tired of Marvel Strike Force and its like anti-player stance. Like we'll go down the anti pay to play rabbit hole at some point. I'm not gonna do it right now because today's happy positive vibes, right? So um the reason I'm so excited, aside from the fact that I've always loved these hero collectors games, is Lord of the Rings is my favorite IP of all time. It always has been. Like, I pulled this shit off my bookshelf, dusted out of mothballs, just like to throw it on screen. Like, I fucking love Lord of the Rings. When I was, what, it came out 2001, 2002, so I was 8, 9 years old. Like, I remember sitting at my friend's cabin growing up, and my parents were off hanging out with their friends, and it was just me hanging out in the living room trying to find something to watch. And my usual go-to was like Star Wars, like Empire or Return of the Jedi, whatever. That's usually what I would watch when I was over there. For whatever reason, this movie caught my eye, and it was The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring, and I popped it in, and I literally just made it through like the intro with Galadriel narrating all of it, about the entire history leading up to the ring. And I don't even think I got into the Shire. Like, I don't think I made it through the full intro before I had to leave for the night. And like immediately, it's like there was an explosion in my brain of just like, oh, well, what happened to the ring? Like, what's gonna happen next? Like, Bilbo has the ring, okay? Like all these characters, like, well, where did Gollum come from? Where did he get the ring from? Like everything, every single question was in my brain. Like, I had to finish the movie. I had to figure out what the hell was going on with it. Like, I don't know why. Like, it's such a vivid memory for me. It just planted this seed, and I immediately went home. I was an like avid reader at the time. I went into my elementary school library, and for whatever reason, they had the Lord of the Rings, like the original, like big fucking Lord of the Rings, the one single print that had all six books technically, all in one volume. And I sat down at like 9 years old and read through the whole thing and fell in love with it and watched all the rest of the movies. The rest of them, the other two movies, as they came out in theaters. And ever since then, Lord of the Rings has been like my safe place. Like, when I'm having a shit week, a shit month, like when I'm stuck in a funk, I sit down and I watch the extended cut of the Lord of the Rings to get my, like, just to feel a sense of warmth or a sense of happiness. I read these books annually. Well, maybe not physically the books, but at least audiobook version. I digest them at least once a year annually, just because I heard once, like, years ago, that Christopher Lee, the actor who played Saruman in the movies, did the same thing and actually met Tolkien once. And I was like, that's an awesome idea. I would love to read these once a year. So I kind of started doing that with that series and A Song of Ice and Fire as well, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Anyways, I'm digressing. I love Lord of the Rings. I've been waiting on bated breath for this game to come out for at least 9 months now. And I didn't want to go through the headache of trying to GPS spoof myself on BlueStacks to put myself in Australia or the Philippines or wherever it was where it had like that original release like 9 months ago. I wanted to like just wait and not watch any content and just experience this game fresh on the first day it came out. And that's what I did. I'm not gonna lie, I watched a couple of videos this morning after I woke up just to kind of figure out what was going on with it, from some guys like Arnold and Tana and whatnot. But aside from that, from like literally today, no information. Going in blind. I have nothing but my 7 years of playing hero collecting games experience to go in on this, and I downloaded the game at release, 7 hours ago now, and played basically the entire day at work. And now I'm here playing on a fresh account that I'm going to be covering in a new series on YouTube. That this is going to be my new thing. Like, I quit doing Marvel Strike Force because I was burnt out. I really, really enjoyed making content for Marvel Strike Force. I really did. I just didn't enjoy the game. That was my problem. I really enjoyed making content for Marvel Strike Force, and I've really gotten back into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I've thought about making content for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but the issue is all of my knowledge and experience from Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes comes from like 2017 to 2020 when I played like pretty seriously and pretty religiously. And then I quit, started playing again in about 2022, and so much of the game has changed. There's so many new teams, so many new functions in it that I don't feel I am knowledgeable enough to do Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. But what better time to get back into content creating than on day one of a new game, of an IP that I fucking treasure. Yeah, for those of you who aren't familiar with my YouTube stuff before, I'm sure all my Marvel Strike Force shit is still out there. I like to offer a pretty unfiltered opinion of the games. I'm not a big fan of pay to play. One of my favorite things about these hero collector styles of games is finding ways to progress into the top tiers of competitiveness and remaining relevant on accounts without having to pay money. Trying to like break the game essentially, and not breaking it or hacking it or anything stupid or illegal like that, but just like fine tuning and optimizing your roster and your play in order to make sure that you're able to compete with the whales or at least the dolphins, because the like upper 1% of the 1% of the 1% you're never going to compete with, because you don't have tens of thousands of dollars to throw in this game. And if you do, don't watch my videos. But yeah, I feel like I've had some good momentum and some good positivity and feedback coming on most of my Marvel Strike Force videos, just because I was giving my own raw, unfiltered take, and good opinions, and had a pretty good idea of like where to go with information and not having to pay money. Because my biggest pet peeve with these styles of games at the end of the day is the content creators that everybody watches that have the biggest platforms on these games are the ones that are spending the most money on it. Now, it's a good thing. Whales are a good thing. They pay to keep the lights on for everybody else. I'm not bashing them for it. But what I am saying is the vast majority of people who play these games don't spend money on them, or don't spend much money on them. So it's not realistic for them to expect the same outcome as these people who are spending hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, etc. on these games. And also, most of these content creators, short of a few of them who do go back and make like alt accounts and do free-to-play playthroughs on it just to give you actual legitimate information and advice for free-to-play players, most of them try to make that content without living in it, without experiencing it. So it feels almost out of touch and off base and incorrect, because they're paying hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars to play these games, and they're telling you, a person who's not doing that, how to play the game and how to succeed. Right? Anyways, digressing, not getting negative on this video. That's what I'm doing. I'm back. This wasn't meant to be a long video, but more or less just kind of an unfiltered. I don't usually script or do anything else in my videos. I like to just come on here and just have like an idea of what I want to talk about, and then just stream consciousness, because I feel like that's the most real way to do this. And I don't want to do this unless I'm being the real me. So if you guys have followed my Marvel Strike Force content, and you're watching this video for whatever reason, I highly encourage you and request you to please go ahead and tune in. We're back. Tune into future videos. Go download Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth. It's pretty fun so far. I'm having a good time on it. I do have some like minor irks and complaints about it, but I am enjoying it. And I never got to experience Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes on release. I did get to experience Marvel Strike Force on release. Um, that was what, 4 or 5 years ago now. These these hero collector games are a dime a dozen, but it's very rare and few and far between that a really good solid one comes out. And ah, see, we're not editing that out because we're real. Uh, where was I? Train of thought, losing my brain. Um, these hero collector games don't come out often. Sorry, they're a dime a dozen. They do come out often. Good ones, the ones that last years and years and years, don't come out often. And regardless what your opinion of this game is, it has EA behind it. It has Capital Games behind it. Capital Games runs Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, which has been a force in the gacha game, the hero collector game community for the last 7 years, maybe even 8. I forget if it came out in 2015, 2016. But at the end of the day, they have a legitimate company and legitimate money behind it. This game isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And I really do believe with how much hype has been building up around this game, how much people have waited for it, how beloved of an IP Lord of the Rings is, and how starved Lord of the Rings fans have been for a good Lord of the Rings game, even if this really has nothing to do with like the actual canon of Lord of the Rings. There's no way this game isn't huge and successful as far as mobile games go. So stick around, guys. There's gonna be more videos coming out. I am likely going to do another video pretty soon here of me rolling through kind of some of the beginner shit in this game and talking through it. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys for watching. I missed you guys. We're back.